Hey everyone, welcome to this full moon Sidereal Astrology forecast for the full moon on Thursday, January 28th, 2021. All right, so full moon in Cancer. If you're expecting me to say Leo just then, be sure to check out the link down below for more information, where we are using the visible sky called True Sidereal Astrology, which does change the signs from mainstream astrology. All right, so full moon, a status check time with the constellation of Cancer, the crab. How is our protective side? Are we protecting for ourselves, caring and nurturing for ourselves, but also for those close to us? A really good time of maybe connecting to those closer to us, home, family, getting more in touch with our intrinsic values and personal lives is a great way of cultivating this full moon. And especially because with all full moons, we're dealing with oppositions. And so with the sun and a lot of the outer planets in more colder, more disciplined, more productive Capricorn, this helps balance out a lot of that more earthy energy that we're feeling coming into this new year. So with the full moon, we do have a very close conjunction with the sun and Jupiter. So there's some fire with this full moon, no doubt. In this case, maybe seeing if there are some possibilities, some potentials that we can accomplish, maybe achieve. Great time for being open-minded and a bit adventurous, both mentally and literally with this full moon. There is a T-square up to fiery Mars and Uranus in Aries. So there is this needing to maybe find some constructive ways of working with the fiery elements of life we'll talk about. There's also a trine up to Chiron, maybe some good healing energy, feeling a bit rejuvenated, and Venus is conjoining Pluto at the same time. So maybe some transformations with our values and very possibly our relationships. All right, so let's take a look at all of this here in more detail when we return. All right, so here's the chart for the full moon. So the exact time of the full moon will be on Thursday, January 28th at 13:24 Eastern Time of the Americas, if you do want to make that calculation for wherever you are in the world. But for all intents and purposes, it will be around Thursday. And again, as you can see here, the constellations are different sizes. This is how we see them visibly in the sky. So this does change the signs from mainstream astrology. Again, if you're expecting it to be in Leo, definitely check out that link down below for more information. All right, so first off, what is a full moon? It is the heightened energy of the lunar month. 2 weeks ago, we started a fresh new start, a lot of it having to do with Capricorn, which is about what we want to maybe accomplish, maybe put in time and discipline into, which is still great to focus on. But now it's the halfway point of seeing, yes, maybe there are some things harvesting from the last couple weeks, but more importantly, how can we now incorporate some of that opposite energy? What's opposite, more colder, detached, responsible, disciplined Capricorn is more protective, emotion-based Cancer. So a great time to do a status check. How is our intrinsic life? Are we creating that protective environment for ourselves, caring, nurturing for ourselves, taking care of our bodies, listening to our feelings, doing what's important to us emotionally? And in interpersonal life, are we caring and protecting for others, right? Really good time of doing this, those close to us and just in general. How can we incorporate some of that caring, nurturing, protective energy in our more personal lives is fantastic. So this is the most important element, is how to balance out both of these things. How can we still accomplish, achieve, focus on long-term stuff while get in touch with the personal, right? Home, maybe family, maybe private life. Again, connecting to our bodies, our health, our well-being, emotionally, maybe getting some of that emotionally secure time, and caring, nurturing, and protecting for ourselves and others is a great way of working with this full moon. Seeing how that's going in our life and how can we further develop this Cancerian caring, nurturing, and protective energy moving forward, both for the next couple weeks, for the remainder of the cycle, but really just in general. Because there's so much going on in Capricorn this year, I think Cancer will be a great energy to work with for the whole year. Now, with the aspects here, we do have a very close conjunction with the Sun and Jupiter going exact on Thursday with the full moon. So there's a bit of fire here. You know, Jupiter is the philosopher, it's the guru, it's the adventurer. So there is this focus that we do have collectively in terms of how can we expand our horizons, both mentally and literally. And so in Capricorn, maybe it's about seeing potentials, opportunities to accomplish and to achieve, which I think is great. There could be a new beginning here about feeling a bit inspired or open-minded about this kind of productive or accomplishing kind of stuff. And just in general, really getting into that more open-minded side of ourselves? How can we expand our horizons, both mentally through things like philosophy, astrology, spirituality, and adventurousness? Maybe the literal horizons, a bit of that open-mindedness that can, again, help facilitate this energy moving forward. So with this, we do have a T-square. Now, squares are the more challenging energy. And so there are some challenges, collectively speaking, with the full moon, but it's really that we want to challenge ourselves. And in this context, it's with fiery Mars, with erratic and impulsive Aries, impulsive Uranus in Aries. So with this, there is a fire, and I think it's good to find the healthy and conscious ways of implementing that. Usually with squares, we'll go to extremes, at least collectively speaking. If there's too much fire, right, too much of our needs, our drives, our assertive side, just being conscious of that to make sure everything is nice and balanced. But also if there's not enough, right, if there's not enough initiative, active, fiery energy, how can we maybe incorporate some of that as well? And this is really in the context of doing what's important for our true self. I think with Mars and Uranus next to each other like this, it's really about doing things that are maybe different experiences, getting outside of our comfort zone in healthy and constructive ways. Maybe listening to that freedom or that true self that wants to make some changes, have more freedom, maybe different experiences. So that's great to challenge ourselves with. How can we take some action, some initiative, do some of this fiery stuff that speaks more to our true self in a way that's constructive. And in this way, it becomes a very constructive time where we can really be implementing a lot of this, what is called cardinal energy, right? We're dealing with the cardinal signs here, and it's all about directing energy. With Capricorn, it's directing it towards long-term stuff, things that require discipline, perseverance, right? And even achievement, right? With Aries, it's about our needs. It's about the fire, the assertive, the active. And of course, with Cancer now being the new energy involved here, with the directing it towards the personal life, right? The secure environment for ourselves and others, our caring, nurturing side, and putting action and energy towards those things that are important to us on an intrinsic level, on a personal level here in life. All right, and then on a minor note, there is a trine up to Chiron, so there could be maybe just feeling a bit healed, a bit rejuvenated, maybe a little bit more willing to go with the flow a bit with Chiron and Pisces. So there's a nice supportive energy here where we could just be feeling a bit healed. Easy to do things involving healing if you are involved with those things in your life, but just feeling a bit healed, a bit rejuvenated, and more willing to be receptive, which is great with this full moon. Now, it just so happens at the same time of the full moon, we do have Venus, the planet of our values, going over transformative Pluto. So there is likely a lot of new beginnings involved with this full moon, one of which is, again, that open-mindedness, but also with, I think, our values and quite possibly our relationships. Because Pluto has this tendency of kind of allowing the shedding of the skin, right? To allow the sort of past energy, maybe karmic energy, to be released, to allow for the new beginnings, right? The phoenix rising up out of the ashes. So I think with this full moon, it's a great time of maybe just bringing awareness to the fact that, yes, we have these values, maybe even some relationship things, which is great to develop, but also in the context of releasing, right? Allowing some shedding of the skin, some past values, maybe our perspective of our values, maybe some past relationship energy, if there's anything karmic there that we're kind of releasing. And in this way, the more willing we are to let go, the more willing we are to allow for the ending of our values and our relationships, this facilitates the rebirth, right? And I think this is going to happen very naturally. There's really nothing much to do with conjunctions as much as it's about being aware of it and helping facilitate that kind of energy. So if there is anything that you do want to let go to allow for the new in regards to what you enjoy, your values, maybe even the sensual life, and also in regards to relationships very much, right, with Venus. Allow for some change and some transformation there, maybe even some depth, some intimacy, some deeper energy in those relationships. It's really pointing towards a whole new beginning to our values, so they speak more to our deeper values, and to our relationships, so they speak more to our deeper relationships. So allowing for change, allowing for transformation, allowing for the shedding of the skin can really facilitate this fresh new start with values and relationships. And again, specifically in our perspective with Sagittarius. All right, everyone, so that's the full moon in a nutshell. Most important thing, status check. It's the heightened energy of the lunar month. How is our Cancer side going of ourselves? Are we creating that protective environment for ourselves and others? Are we connecting to our intrinsic values, connecting to our bodies, our feelings, our past, even our intuitions? Cancer is said to be the gateway of the soul, so to speak. So it's all the, emotional, body, personal life. It's the root of the charts, the foundations in life. How's that going? Are we connecting to that side of life? And this helps balance out a lot of the more grounded, disciplined, and accomplishment-oriented Capricorn energy, which is still really good to develop, but we do need both, right? For productive stuff, we need the private stuff, right? Public, private, accomplishment, personal, extrinsic values, and intrinsic values is great. Jupiter is very strong in this full moon, giving some fire of maybe opening our mental and literal horizons, a whole new beginning with that, which is great. Maybe even some opportunities coming out of this full moon. The T-square does give that fire. How can we balance out that fire? Set intentions, do it consciously and constructively, to take initiative, put things into action, maybe some active energy, all in a way that's about having new and different experiences and listening to that true self that maybe does want some change or some different experiences that we can put energy into. All right, some healing energy, feeling a bit healed with Chiron, and transformations to our values and relationships. All right, so everyone have a fantastic full moon. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click that like button if you haven't yet, and click the subscribe and bell button if you are new to this channel and you do want more videos like this one. But again, have a great one, everyone. Thank you again, and I'll see you all next time for the next astrology forecast. Take care.